Good morning. I want to remind you today that you are not here by accident. You're a person of great value, purpose, and significance. Sometimes in life, people won't recognize the treasure that you are. They'll take your kindness for granted, overlook your loyalty, or fail to appreciate. You are unique, created with purpose, and equipped with gifts that no one else in this world can offer. Too often we forget this truth and allow the opinions of others to dictate how we see ourselves. But your value is not determined by someone's recognition or lack thereof. It comes from who you are at your core, the talents you've cultivated, the kindness you show, and the way you impact the lives of those around you. Think about the times you've gone out of your way to help someone, offered a kind word, or simply showed up for someone when they needed you most. Those moments matter. They're a reflection of your heart and your character. It's easy to overlook these small acts, but they are the building blocks of who you are. Your value isn't in grand gestures or external accolades. It's in the consistency of your goodness, the integrity of your actions, and the love you carry within you. Sometimes life has a way of testing how much we truly believe in our own worth. You might find yourself in a situation where you're undervalued or taken for granted. It could be in your career, relationships, or even among friends. When this happens, there's a temptation to shrink back, to doubt yourself, or to think, maybe they're right, maybe I'm not good enough, but don't let someone else's inability to see your worth convince you that it doesn't exist. Just because they don't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. Imagine a diamond buried deep in the ground. Its brilliance and worth don't change simply because it's covered in dirt or hidden from view. It's still a diamond, still priceless, waiting to be uncovered by the right hands. You are like that diamond. Even when life's challenges try to bury you under doubt or disappointment, your value remains unchanged. You just need to remember who you are and keep shining. Your value also lies in your potential, what you're capable of becoming. Every day you have the opportunity to grow, learn, and expand your horizons. The skills you're developing, the challenges you're overcoming, and the dreams you're chasing all contribute to your unique value. No one else has your exact combination of experiences, perspective, and ability. That makes you irreplaceable. Value yourself enough to set boundaries. When you know your worth, you won't settle for less than you deserve. Whether it's a job, a relationship, or how someone treats you, understanding your value empowers you to say, I deserve better. This isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. When you recognize your worth, you attract people and opportunities that align with it. Remember, no one can take your value away from you. It's woven into the fabric of who you are. You are worthy of respect, love, and opportunity simply because you exist. Don't wait for others to validate you. Recognize your own value and walk in confidence, knowing that you are enough just as you are. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful ways to honor your worth and maintain healthy relationships. It's not about shutting people out or being harsh. It's about defining what is and isn't acceptable in how others treat you. Boundaries are not walls meant to isolate you, but bridges that guide others on how to respect and interact with you. When you set boundaries, you're not just protecting your time and energy, you're also preserving your peace, your dignity, and your self-respect. It starts with understanding that you are not obligated to tolerate behavior that makes you feel uncomfortable, disrespected, or undervalued. Often people hesitate to set boundaries because they fear being misunderstood or rejected. They worry about how others will react. But it's important to remember that setting boundaries isn't about controlling someone else's behavior. It's about taking responsibility for your own well-being. When you set a boundary, you're saying, I value myself enough to create space for what is good and healthy in my life. This might mean saying no to overcommitments, walking away from toxic relationships, or communicating your needs clearly in a way that others can understand. Boundaries are an act of self-love, and they're necessary for maintaining balance and harmony in your life. It's also important to approach boundaries with grace. Grace means setting limits with kindness and compassion, not just for others, but also for yourself. You can be firm without being harsh. For example, if someone constantly oversteps your boundaries, you don't have to respond with anger or frustration. Instead, you can calmly and respectfully communicate your needs. I value our relationship, but I need this time for myself. Or I appreciate your input, but I'd like to make this decision on my own. When you frame your boundaries in a way that focuses on your feelings and needs rather than accusing or blaming others, it becomes easier for them to understand and respect. Grace also means being patient with yourself as you learn to enforce your boundaries. It's not always easy, especially if you're used to putting others' needs ahead of your own. You might feel guilty at first or worry about being perceived as selfish. But here's the truth: you cannot pour from an empty cup. By setting boundaries, you're ensuring that you have the time and energy to show up fully for the things and people that matter most. Not everyone will respond positively to your boundaries, and that's okay. Some may push back, test your limits, or even walk away. But those who truly care for you will respect your boundaries because they respect you. And when you hold firm, you're teaching others how to treat you, reinforcing the value you place on yourself. Boundaries are a form of empowerment. They remind you that you have the right to prioritize your well-being without apology. You're not just protecting yourself, you're creating the conditions for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. With grace and confidence, boundaries become a reflection of your self-worth and a way to build a life that aligns with your values. Rejection is a universal experience, yet it's one that often feels deeply personal. Whether it's being passed over for a job, overlooked in a relationship, or excluded from an opportunity you deeply desired, rejection can sting. It can make you question your worth, your abilities, or even your purpose. But hidden within the pain of rejection is an opportunity for growth, one that can lead to greater strength, resilience, and clarity about your path. Rejection has a way of redirecting us. It may feel like a door closing, but in reality, it's often the universe's way of steering us towards something better. What seems like a setback in the moment may actually be a setup for a breakthrough. That job you didn't get could make room for a better position, one that aligns more closely with your gifts and goals. That relationship that didn't work out could open the door to a connection that truly honors and values you. While rejection can feel like the end of a road, it's often just a detour to something greater. One of the most valuable lessons rejection teaches is resilience. When you face rejection, you learn to navigate disappointment and develop the ability to bounce back. Resilience isn't about pretending that rejection doesn't hurt. It's about refusing to let it define you or dictate your future. Every time you pick yourself up after rejection, you're building inner strength. You're learning that your worth isn't tied to someone else's approval, and you're proving to yourself that you can move forward no matter what. Rejection also offers clarity. It forces you to take a closer look at your goals, relationships, or desires. Sometimes we pursue things that aren't truly right for us because they seem appealing in the moment or because we think we should want them. When rejection happens, it provides an opportunity to step back and reassess. Was that job or relationship really what you needed, or was it simply what you thought you wanted? Rejection challenges you to refine your vision and focus on what truly matters, helping you align your efforts with your greater purpose. Another powerful aspect of rejection is the way it fosters self-discovery. When you're rejected, you're given the chance to examine how you view yourself and where you find your validation. It's a moment to ask, am I placing my worth in external approval, or do I truly believe in my own value? Rejection invites you to grow in self-confidence, to embrace who you are, and to recognize that your worth is not contingent on someone else's recognition. Finally, rejection can spark growth by motivating you to improve. It can inspire you to sharpen your skills, deepen your knowledge, or refine your craft. Many of the most successful people in history faced rejection before achieving greatness. They used those moments as fuel, not as an excuse to give up. Rejection can be a powerful teacher, showing you where to grow and how to persevere. While rejection is never easy, it can become a catalyst for transformation. It's not an ending, it's a beginning, one that challenges you to rise stronger, clearer, and more focused than ever before. Rejection doesn't diminish your value, it refines it. Each no is simply a step closer to the yes that will change everything. Leaving a positive legacy is about more than material success or recognition. It's about the impact you make on the lives of others and the world around you. It's the memories you create, the values you uphold, and the influence you leave behind long after you're gone. A legacy is built moment by moment through the choices you make and the way you show up in the world. At its core, a positive legacy is rooted in kindness. It's about treating others with respect and compassion, even in the small, everyday moments. A kind word, a gesture of support, or simply being present for someone in need can leave a lasting impression. These acts of kindness may seem insignificant at the time, but they create ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. Your legacy isn't just what you accomplish, it's how you make others feel. Another key aspect of a positive legacy is integrity. Living with integrity means staying true to your values, even when it's difficult. It's about being honest, dependable, and consistent in your actions. People may not always remember the details of what you said or did, but they will remember the character you displayed. Integrity builds trust and respect, laying the foundation for a legacy that others admire and strive to emulate. Your legacy is also shaped by the contributions you make to the world. This doesn't mean you need to achieve fame or fortune. It means using your unique gifts and talents to create something meaningful. Whether it's mentoring someone, building a community, or pursuing a passion that inspires others, your contributions leave a mark that goes far beyond your individual achievements. Every time you share your knowledge, uplift someone, or create something of value, you're adding to your legacy. Leaving a positive legacy also involves resilience and perseverance. Life is full of challenges, and the way you respond to adversity speaks volumes about who you are. When you face setbacks with courage, adapt to change, and keep moving forward, you set an example for others. Your ability to overcome difficulties shows that it's possible to rise above circumstances and continue to strive for better. This strength of character becomes a powerful part of the legacy you leave behind. Additionally, a positive legacy often includes the ability to inspire others. Your actions, words, and attitudes can motivate people to dream bigger, work harder, and believe in themselves. By sharing your story and encouraging others, you create a ripple effect of positivity that continues to grow. Inspiration is one of the most profound ways to leave a legacy, as it empowers others to carry your influence forward in their own lives. Ultimately, leaving a positive legacy is about living with purpose and intention. It's about recognizing that your life has significance and that every choice you make contributes to the story you're writing. A positive legacy isn't built in a single moment. It's the culmination of a lifetime of meaningful actions. By focusing on kindness, integrity, contribution, resilience, and inspiration, you create a legacy that not only honors your own journey, but also leaves the world a better place for those who follow. When someone overlooks you, takes you for granted, or walks away from what you bring to the table, it's easy to feel hurt or undervalued. But what you may not realize in the moment is that their choice to let you go is often more about them than it is about you. Their inability to recognize your worth doesn't diminish it. In fact, it's their loss, and in time, you'll see how it becomes your gain. Sometimes losing people or opportunities creates the space you didn't even know you needed. It's like pruning a tree. When certain branches are cut away, it may seem painful or unnecessary at first, but that pruning allows for new growth and stronger roots. The same is true in life. When someone decides to walk away or you're forced to step away, it often opens the door to new possibilities, opportunities that align better with who you are and what you're meant to achieve. The truth is, not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Some people come into your journey for a season, and when their time is up, it's okay to let them go. Their departure is not the end of your story. It's a chapter that prepares you for something greater. While they may regret losing you, you will find strength and clarity in moving forward. You'll come to see that their absence creates room for relationships and opportunities that truly value and celebrate you. What's more, these experiences teach you important lessons about your own worth. When you recognize that you don't have to beg for someone's attention, approval, or respect, you reclaim your power. You realize that you deserve connections that are mutual, uplifting, and affirming. You stop chasing what isn't meant for you and start attracting the people and opportunities that align with your purpose. Life has a way of turning losses into gains when you allow it. The very things you thought you couldn't live without often lead you to discover parts of yourself you didn't know existed. Maybe losing a relationship helps you find independence and self-confidence. Maybe missing out on a job leads you to a career path that truly fulfills you. In every loss, there's a seed of opportunity waiting to grow into something beautiful. There's also freedom in letting go of what doesn't serve you. When someone fails to value you, it can feel like rejection, but it's really a form of protection. You're being spared from situations or relationships that could hold you back from your potential. Their loss is your chance to grow, to step into a higher version of yourself, and to embrace the blessings that are ahead. The key is to focus on the gain rather than the loss. Don't let bitterness or regret weigh you down. Instead, channel your energy into building a life that reflects your worth and potential. As you move forward, you'll realize that the people who truly matter will see your value and that the best is yet to come. Their loss is your gain, and your future is brighter because of it. Moving on is one of the most liberating and transformative actions you can take in life. It's not about forgetting the past or pretending that pain didn't exist. It's about choosing not to let it control your future. Moving on means recognizing that what lies ahead is far greater than anything you've left behind, and that holding on to hurt, disappointment, or resentment only keeps you stuck. It's a decision to reclaim your power and redirect your energy toward growth, healing, and new opportunities. Letting go of the past is not always easy. See, sometimes the pain of a loss or betrayal can feel overwhelming, and the memories can linger like shadows that refuse to fade. But staying anchored to those emotions only prolongs the hurt. Moving on doesn't mean you dismiss or minimize your experiences. It means you acknowledge them, learn from them, and then release their hold over you. It's about making peace with what happened, even if you never fully understand why it happened. One of the most profound aspects of moving on is the space it creates for new beginnings. When you let go of the things that no longer serve you, whether it's a toxic relationship, a missed opportunity, or the weight of regret, you make room for something better to enter your life. You're no longer carrying the baggage of the past, and you're free to embrace the possibilities of the present. Moving on isn't just about leaving something behind. It's about stepping into a future filled with hope, potential, and promise. Moving on also strengthens your resilience. Every time you rise above a setback, you prove to yourself that you are capable of overcoming challenges. You discover an inner strength that you may not have realized you had. Each experience teaches you something about yourself, your capacity to heal, adapt, and grow. Over time, these lessons build a foundation of confidence that allows you to face whatever comes your way with courage and grace. Another powerful aspect of moving on is the freedom it brings. When you let go of grudges, bitterness, or anger, you free yourself from the emotional chains that have been holding you back. Carrying resentment is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. It only harms you. By choosing to forgive, not for their sake, but for your own, you release yourself from the burden of negative emotions. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning what happened. It means deciding that you won't let it define or control your life any longer. Moving on is also an act of self-love. It's a declaration that you deserve peace, happiness, and fulfillment. It's a recognition that your worth is not tied to what someone else did or didn't do or to the opportunities you may have missed. By choosing to move forward, you affirm that your life is too valuable to be spent dwelling on what's already behind you. You give yourself permission to dream again, to build again, and to believe that the best is yet to come. In the end, moving on is a gift you give to yourself. It's a powerful step toward becoming the person you were always meant to be, unburdened by the past and ready to embrace the future with open arms. In life, there will be moments when you face rejection, loss, or challenges that test your strength and resilience, but through it all, you have the power to rise, to grow, and to move forward. Recognizing your value, setting boundaries with grace, and learning to embrace growth through rejection are the building blocks of a life defined by self-worth and purpose. When you let go of what no longer serves you and choose to leave a positive legacy, you create space for new beginnings and greater opportunities. Moving on is not just about leaving the past behind, it's about stepping into the fullness of your potential. It's about using every experience, good or bad, as a stepping stone toward becoming stronger, wiser, and more determined to live the life you deserve. Remember, what others fail to see in you doesn't diminish your value. Their loss becomes your gain, and your story becomes a testament to the power of resilience and self-belief. You are not defined by what you've lost, but by how you rise after every fall. Embrace the lessons, cherish the growth, and trust that the best is yet to come. Keep moving forward because your brightest days are still ahead, and the legacy you leave will inspire others to do the same.